Hi, this is Davida.
And this is Israel with Sci-Fi Beyond. And today we are talking about the new Dungeons and Dragons film, Honor Among Thieves, which, as you can see, we just got out of seeing. But it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I loved seeing the magic and creatures come alive on the screen, and I love the fact that they kept the humor in there.
Yeah, it was really funny. I do love that the creatures they had, well, it's in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler. But the owl bear,
Oh yeah,
yes,
and
I love
mimics.
that. Yeah,
It was cool seeing those come to life on the screen. And like I said, you kind of need humor for a film like this. The '90s one had the humor, and I love that. I love that they kept the humor this time.
there was a lot of Easter eggs to like the comment, the cartoons and the movies.
Yeah, yeah. There was that. I'm not gonna tell you where it is. You might have been spoiled if you saw the articles or anything, but there was a pretty big Easter egg
Yeah.
to the '80s
It's
cartoon. I
kind of
loved
hard
seeing
to
that.
talk about it and not spoil something or not actually say something.
Yeah, but I love the story.
Yeah.
I actually love the cast they picked. Chris Pine was actually pretty good in this one.
Yeah. I am disappointed at the costumes. That's what I'm gonna say. And not to spoil it, but they did skimp a little bit on the costumes, I feel.
I didn't notice the costumes were. I'm thinking maybe it's like a little like a being more grounded thing, but I did like the costumes compared to the '90s one.
Yeah.
I did like the more fantasy type costumes that they had in the original '90s film. I mean, there is some pretty cool like armor costumes that they have in this film.
Yes. But just like an only like what, two people
Yeah,
and maybe
but
some guards.
the costumes kind of wound up feeling more like a Ren Fair type thing
Yeah.
than what I personally feel like. I mean, it might have changed because it has been a long time since I played it, but when I think of a Dungeons and Dragons film, I kind of think of like more fantasy type
Yeah. I
costumes,
mean, I've never
something.
really played it, but I've been a fan of the comics, the mangas, and now graphic novels, and the old movies. And in the old movies, the costumes, and in the graphic novels and comics, they're a little more than.
Than anything. But I really did enjoy it. I did like the story.
I did like the
Um,
story. I also like the magic they had in there, like the spells and
yeah, it was cool seeing all that come to life.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that was fun. I feel like they left some of it out that they could have put in. But I felt like most of the film's money wasn't in costume. It was more like maybe
The effects or
the
sets
effects
or
and such. It was kind
locations,
of cool.
but I still liked it. If I do think that it was completely different from what the trailer makes you expect.
Yeah, it
So if you're
is.
going in expecting,
Like the past movies or anything like.
yeah,
I mean, it still had a feel. It still had some of the past movie type vibes. But it was a little different. But I mean, if you think about it, D&D could be anything because from what I understand, you guys have campaigns, so it could have just been something that somebody built.
yeah. So yeah, like I'm a fan of it. I really did enjoy it. I really did love it.
Yeah, I want to see it again.
I definitely gonna go see it again. It was still cool. I still liked it, but again, like the trailer leads you to expect one thing, but when the film actually when you watch it, it's completely different.
Still worth it though. I
It's
was
still
very
worth
happy
it.
I went.
But like if you're going in expecting that kind of film, you might be a little bit disappointed. But if you're just going in for like just a cool Dungeons and Dragons fantasy adventure, then I think you're gonna love it just like we
Yeah,
did.
yeah, I did love it. The creatures made up for all the costumes and stuff. They still had cool costumes, but I feel like they could have done a little better.
I also, yeah, I did feel I could do a little better with that. I also,
Because for me, Dungeons and Dragons, from the comics and the other movies, you expect like World of Warcraft. And I feel
yeah,
like,
yeah, I kind of did. Actually, to be honest, I kind of did get
yeah,
Warcraft vibes from this, like the film that came out a few years ago. I did kind of get a few vibes from that, which it's for me, it's a good comparison. I loved both
yeah.
films.
I mean, they're both good, but just you don't get Dungeons. I mean, you don't get Warcraft, and the classic type thing here, but you do get definitely get Renfest and the old feel and stuff
Yeah, you
again,
get that like the
and the magic,
adventure.
and you still get
Yeah,
the wizard feel and all that. So it's
yeah, and like,
yeah,
again, I'm glad they kept the humor because in the first one they had the humor, which was good. When the second film and the third film came out, they kind of took the humor out. And while I still enjoy those films, I kind of feel like you still kind of need the humor for a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
yeah. The thing I did love was I don't want to spoil it, but the with the bad wizard guy gets something that's actually very D&D classic D&D thing, which is really awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So there's actually like there's a lot of things that's like classic D&D.
Yeah.
I can feel like the only thing was missing was a scene of someone rolling a D20. I feel that's how it felt. It felt like an actual campaign. Like you were watching someone play a campaign, and I
And
did like that about the
yeah,
film.
there was also very skimpy on weapons, but again,
Yeah, but again, I'm thinking they probably just have to keep like the basics
Yeah,
of everything. But I did really enjoy the Easter eggs, like the classes, the weapons, the world they just built around, right? The way they just referenced to the D&D world. I just love the way they did
yeah.
all that and made it still feel kind of real and grounded, but at
Yeah,
the same time kept
that's
the
what they
magic.
did. They did make it like if it wasn't this world. Like you wouldn't have all those fancy things. It'll just be something you'd
Yeah,
wear.
yeah.
They did have some really cool artifacts
Yeah,
that they
there's
were
some quite
using.
offensive designs.
Yeah,
I love the way they transferred to make it look a little more grounded as opposed to going full high fantasy, but at least costume wise, I
yeah.
kind of would have preferred full high fantasy.
Of course, you would be really be running around in that and wearing that every day.
No,
So
that is
that is
true.
kind of I can see their point. But I love who the muscle was, and
Yeah,
and it was just awesome because like you didn't expect who what the muscle was the muscle, and
yeah. I'm glad. I'm kind of glad they took the route they took
yeah,
because I feel like if they would have made like who you expect to be the main leader, would have been like just too
yeah.
cliche.
And you would think like every classic things from '90s, and even then it was always guys, and the guys are the tough ones, and they
Yeah.
really actually had women.
But
You
also, it
know,
kind of makes sense like compared to the campaign. You know, that one person who's going to pick the tough barbarian
yeah.
character. So those kind of make sense a little bit like in the course of how a player campaign would play
Yeah.
out too. Or for me at
Yeah, it's
least.
just kind of nice to see them actually like putting it like that, like an actual campaign, and not doing it like in the past where the hero has to be the man only.
Yeah, I did like that. I did enjoy that. I think Chris Pine did a good job pulling that off too.
Yeah,
To be honest, guys, probably has become one of my favorite roles from Chris Pine now.
yeah.
Just next to Star Trek, next to his portrayal as Kirk in Star
I
Trek.
loved him as Kirk in Star Trek. I couldn't stand him in Wonder Woman, so he made up for it.
Yeah,
This time.
I think this one went to the top of my Chris Pine list. To be
Yeah,
honest.
because he has that scruffy, princely look.
But like I said, I enjoyed it. I think if you're just a fan of the games, or even if you're just like a general
Yeah,
fan of
or the
fantasy,
movies only or fantasy, you're definitely going to love it.
if you've seen it early, like we have, or whatnot, and just let us know what you think about it in the comments. What was your favorite part? What's your least favorite part of it? Just let us know. We're interested in hearing that from you guys.
But otherwise than that, I don't have any complaints. Otherwise than that, it was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. Love the storyline, love the cast, love the way everything just played out. And like I said, let us know
Yeah,
what you think about
the
it.
storyline was pretty amazing. I did love that. There were quite a bit of funny scenes, and there's like I don't know if you see the trailer where what's his name destroys a bridge. It's not a spoiler because you've seen the trailer. That scene gets that whole scene is actually very very funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of good humor, and like I said in the beginning, I love the fact they kept the humor in there too. But like I said, let us know what you think about it. Tell us your thoughts on the film, and hopefully you enjoyed it as well when you see it.
Yeah.
And
Tell
until
us what you wanted to see in it and how you felt about it.
yeah,
That's
oh
what I would
yeah,
like to
that's true.
know.
Yeah, was there something you wish would have been in the film that wasn't in the film?
You wish something wasn't in the film, or you feel like maybe the storyline should have been a different way, or
Yeah,
maybe it was a good storyline but you wanted to add something. Just I would like to hear other
yeah. Like, even
comments.
if you just hate Chris Pine, just let us know in the comments what you thought about it. We look forward to reading those from you. And
Yes.
until
Oh,
next
and then
time.
one before we go, sorry. How do you feel about the cast?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
casting, because at first when I watched it, I wasn't sure, but actually everybody did a good job.
I will admit I was a little iffy on Justice Smith just from the trailers, but I feel like he
Yeah,
was one of my favorites from the film
he
too.
was one of my favorite because he
Yeah,
was, he's a Pikachu, so I was like,
yeah,
how is he going to? But no, he was really good.
yeah. No, yeah. That's a good point. I really did enjoy his the way he played the character off. When you see it, you're gonna enjoy it. There's like a lot of humor in there, but I really love the way he did that.
But I just wanted to like put that in there because I'm like, how did you feel about the casting? I was never expecting Hugh Grant to be like, he's a good actor, but I just wasn't expecting him to be like this great in a magic movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would never expected that.
But yeah, just let us know what you think about all that. And until next time, this is Israel signing off.
Yeah, this is Davida signing off.